Hi and welcome to World Cup 2023. We are having a mid tournament stream, I guess, so with me and Hannes. We're going to go through some of the stuff that has happened, and yeah, we're soon going into the Swiss. So yeah, this is gonna be exciting to see which teams are actually gonna be in the top cut. How are you feeling towards the top cut, Hannes? You and Team Berlin.
Hi, yeah, we're feeling excellent about it because we don't have to worry about it anymore. The only thing that is that we're playing against our Polish friends, and we can just basically make them miss the top cut as well. So it's I'm personally very happy that I'm not playing this week, so that this burden does not fall on me to just spoil the fun for the Polish guys. Yeah, but apart from that, well, we got our first World Cup points ever for Team Berlin. I don't think we had the perfect choice of decks with respect to the meta, so that didn't work out. But the games that we had, apart from the one against Spain, where we just were obliterated and they creamed us like hell, but against Germany and Chile, that was really, really cool, great games. Some of them I was, literally shivering afterwards, so close. So no top cut for us, but still it was a really cool 3 games, and we're really looking forward to the last one against the Polish. And now I'm also curious to see which teams will make it. Some are, I think, already quite clear.
Yeah, we can. I can just drop in on the teams that are ready for the top cut. I guess
Yes.
in Group Fire, Catalonia with a clean record so far, 3 wins, been looking really strong. I've been looking at some of their games, and I've also played against them and got a hell of a beating against them. So they are through to the top cut. And I guess also from Fire, Czech Republic with 2 wins and 1 modified win, 1 draw.
Mhm.
Is that enough?
Yes, I think it
Yes.
should be enough. I think there's no way.
Yeah.
Italy
No,
is playing against whom is Italy playing?
Italy is playing versus Norway, and that
Yeah.
is 2-1 for Italy now. So that one is really interesting because I think the one who wins that game will have top cut. We have Norway in third with 2 wins and 1 loss, and India guys, India got 2 wins.
Very, very nice.
That is so awesome. 3 players been practicing all week. We're seeing them on the Iron Throne all the time, and practice makes perfect. I guess they got a beating from us the first round, and now they are looking strong, like top cut strong. That is awesome. And
Totally. So they probably have the highest per player wins, right? So
yeah, we can just swap to to overall to round overall, and we got Dude Arya, which is in the lead and is gonna grab a bunch of jousting pavilion points after this tournament if he keeps it up. So this is awesome. Only playing 3 more matches this week.
easy.
So yeah, that is interesting. So yeah, we can go back to the top player board later. We got we got a bunch of strong players there. But yeah, from Team Fire we got Catalonia and Czech Republic. They are in top cut already. Norway, India, Italy, and France is fighting for the last 2 spots. So it's gonna be interesting. I really don't know who's gonna grab this. I'm not sure if I know the stats between France and India. Do we have that really quick here? I'll
I
go
can take a
in.
look.
It seems like it's still no games there, so that is still open. I got some insight on Norway versus Italy, of course. It looks like Italy is gonna take it. Deck versus deck, player versus player. A slight edge to Italy. I think like 60 to 40. So this is gonna be interesting. If this is this can be a landslide win for Italy, or it's gonna be really close. I think this also might end up as a draw. It looks like I'm not gambling on anything here, just making all assessments there. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I think Italy is favorites, but yeah, gonna be interesting. And we got Bulgaria, Israel, Slovenia, and Australia, which doesn't have a chance for the top cut, but are of course finishing their matches. Bulgaria versus Israel and Slovenia versus Australia. And in your group in ice, China is ready for top cut, and we got Greece with 2 wins and USA with 2 wins, and Austria with 2 wins, and Germany with 1 win and a draw. So, whoa, and Poland with the same. So, yeah.
Germany has 2 draws. Poland has 1
draw.
Oh,
2 draws. Oh, sorry. Yep. Sorry. Yep.
So if Germany wins this round, I think they have a good chance of going through, because if Austria wins against China, it would be dramatic, but then also Greece is playing against USA, and they cannot win both. So if they draw both, and then so there is a chance if they win that they don't make it, but if they win, they make it. But also, China is playing so strong, 3 times, 7-1. They are the reigning champion. They are really living up to it. So really strong showing from them again. I would also say Greece is doing really well. They only lost against China. They still don't have so many players. Several of them are playing 2 games and so. So this is also, I think, quite well. Yeah, it's a tough group.
It's a really tough group.
Overall, Germany and France have maybe underperformed a little bit compared to the expectations we had at the beginning. Especially when you said in France, with respect to the pavilion points that you looked up, they should have done better. But that's all about the matchups. So that's, I think, something that's really, really cool, that you see some surprises. I think it's super exciting to see who comes through in the end.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, both these teams can go through to the top cut and still win it. Both teams are strong enough to actually win the tournament. But just by looking at the stats here, we gotta admit, China and Catalonia are favorites now. They are looking really strong. I've not been able to watch that many of China's games, but I've seen these players in actions earlier. But as I said, Catalonia looks so solid. So it's going to be interesting and cool that Czech Republic is up there as well. Like all-round, really solid team. So yeah, it's going to be fun. Top cut.
Semi-finals last time as well. So I would also count them. I would say China is the absolute favorite, and then Catalonia, Czech Republic, and then let's see who makes it.
Yeah, that's the thing. There's plenty of teams. We had some predictions from the captains. Where did I put the predictions? Can I get it up on the screen here for you guys? Because we had some
predictions. Let me say something about what happens after Swiss for everyone.
Yes.
So originally, and you'll find that in the rules, and we will amend that. We said there's going to be a break week, but we're not going to do that. I think the excitement and the enthusiasm is up, so we'll keep it going. And we would only need, or have need of the break if 2 teams tied completely. The thing is, if they tie by points, the next tiebreaker is number of games won, so individual
Yeah.
And if that is a tie, then it's the question whether they played against each other, and if they have, then the result is basically the. And if that is the tie, it's the strength of schedule. And if that is a tie, then only then would they basically need to send champion for us to fight it out.
Yeah.
So this is highly unlikely, and if that happens, we will for the two teams we will find a solution that they Monday or Tuesday, and then quarterfinals can go on. So we will not have a break week next week. We will continue on with the amazing games that we have seen, and it's probably perfect.
Yeah, this like we are having a momentum in Game of Thrones these days, and yeah, why stop now? Like why have a break week when we can just go see some really strong teams in the top cut? It's gonna be interesting matches. Whoever comes in top cut, it's gonna be really cool to spectate it, and yeah, hopefully we'll get a bunch of streams of the games. I know Miha has been amazing at streaming a lot of games, and Rabs as well. So hopefully we'll convince them to keep on streaming. It seems like both of them are not playing the top cut, so maybe they can be convinced to help us out with some streaming. But yeah, let's see some predictions, see if we were right or wrong. And about predictions, Hannes, we had Miha says in the chat here that he has streamed 0 games so far. So okay, recording then. But we had a little bet, Hannes, about all the mummers deck, all the fools. I do not. We have maybe we have the stats on the bet. But we were betting if the mummers deck are going above or below 50% win rate, or I said something like 70%, I think, and you said below 50, right?
I said, if you take out the strongest players,
yep,
the 2 strongest players and the 2 weakest players, it would be below 50, but I'm not sure that this is going to pan out.
No. I can just look at. We have got a bunch of stats from Sergcel, a player which not participates in the tournament. He has filled in all the stats with just done it manually himself. So he has stats for whole tournament. I got the stats here. I'll ask him if I can just share it, so it will be public knowledge after this. But I'm not sure if I can sort this after agendas yet. No, I only have faction stats, so we can look at that later, maybe on a later stream as well. But yeah, we had the captains make some. Yeah, just a small form for the captains, and where they want to guess who's the semi-finalist and stuff. It's gonna be interesting to see how.
I see a lot of Berlins there. Okay. That is embarrassing. I'm very sorry that
This was what I wanted to show, Hannes. So, your dear Berlin is the most represented, together with Catalonia and China, I believe. Like by far as well. So we got like Berlin in almost 2, 3, 4, 5 of the teams do not put Berlin on as a semi-finalist. So that may be a small scandal, isn't it? Let's see about. Did Berlin submit? I don't think Berlin submitted. Yes, there you submitted. So you thought Austria, Berlin, China, and Germany. You just keep it in the area of around Germany, don't you? So
well, I don't know.
Austria, China, and Germany still in it, aren't they?
Austria, yeah, they're playing China now.
Yeah.
And they can still make it.
Yeah, they can still make it. So that's
Germany
not
can also
a.
make it, but maybe they. See.
Yeah. I also see Norway represented here as well. Bulgaria, thank you for the faith. It might be the only team. We got a couple of more. Yeah, India and Norway, of course. We also are cheering for ourselves, of course. So, yeah. I see that. If you could steal a player from another team, I'm mentioned here, but not for my skill. This is hurtful. For the fun chats. Who's this? Oh, Francisco. Oh, yeah. I'll take that. Thank you for the mention. Oh, and same here. Still not for my skill in the game. That's awesome. So yeah, we see here that Robin Bingo Yang is mentioned. Haren, Hano, Miha has a twisted mind, perfect for Game of Thrones. Was this Poland? Yeah. Norway. I think we also mentioned Miha. I think Kristen said something about that. Yeah. Like Miha or Super Duck, yeah, we would like to steal both those. Lennart Paga. Yeah. There's a bunch of great players and me. Nemesis team, that is as expected maybe. Berlin says Germany. Is it back again? And China also, Germany. So yeah, we got a bunch of China reigning champions for Israel. Yeah. Surprise of the tournament. We can see as a star players here. Rayus, of course. We are all dim lit rocks floating in space from Bulgaria. Alex Triganakis. Is this a returning player? No, that's then probably for Berlin, Hanno and David, Reinhard, Nikki, and Dennis for Austria, Bingo Yang for China, Thomas and Ignacio Pacheco, Alex for France, and any question mark from Arabs and Spain, Leonard Paga from Germany. The collective is the strongest from Poland, of course. Yanni from Israel. Kenny Michael Otten, which I hadn't heard about, which is playing a lot of games for Australia. Awesome returning player there. Haren from Catalonia. Miha from Slovenia. Udr. And Kahan, Boon, and Santi. 2 of the 3 India players is represented here. That's awesome. For Norway, the very Norwegian player, Chrissy, of course. Chris Musen. Yeah, I don't know if there's some more stats that could be interesting. We got some positive surprises here. Top 4 for Czech Republic. That is gonna happen. Past the group stage for Bulgaria. I think they just missed it. Okay. Yeah, just missed it. Unfortunately, almost. Now I'm just jumping back and forth. And Greece, us hopefully. They have been surprising me at least. Norway for 2 of the teams, both Berlin and Austria. I think we're right where we want to be, like almost top cut or maybe top cut. So yeah, 8 Hungarian players. That is a positive surprise for sure. Like Hungary is 8 or 9 players. That is really good. Hopefully everyone on my team keep the spirits and wants to play from Chile. Awesome. Positive surprise of the tournament. by France is Czech Republic. Okay, because we thought it was strong from the get-go. Spain making top cut. Unfortunately, not gonna happen this time. Positive surprise of the tournament for me. This is true, as Germany has said here. India, like just that India is playing is awesome, but they are competing as well. So many teams, yes, from Poland, that's true. 20 teams, and same for Israel, 20 teams, and Team India, awesome. And they ask why so short. And you and me, Hannes, might want to have a longer tournament. I don't know about you.
It's always a trade-off. So we also thought about doing 5 rounds of Swiss.
Yeah.
And maybe if this turns out after this one to be the overall desire of players, but then of course it's also a lot of commitment for teams, and some might not be able to hold that for 5 weeks. So that's the balance we strike, and shorter this time. We will evaluate this year maybe if.
Yeah, like the teams we have here that are playing 3 matches, per player, like India. It is hard, right? Because we went into this tournament with Team Norway. We had 13 players, and we are now having players play 2 matches because of life. Like things suddenly comes up, and that. So I think also like a shorter tournament makes it possible for most teams to like field a team, and I'm just in awe for like India for playing 2 to 3 matches every single week. The turnout was incredible from Australia. I agree. India, positive surprise for sure. How fun it was, yeah, it is surely fun.
That should not be a surprise.
That is true. That is true. Let's see. Nemesis team. I had to look at this from Team India. Hard to say. When the tournament started, we had no idea how good any team was. Now it feels like it could be Norway or China. We are mentioned in the same sentence as China. I love this. Yeah, we get some kudos here. Yeah, and I think from India. And Kristen wrote a novel here. Fun to participate and have India participate. 20 teams and 178 players on us. That is really, really good. And for us, I think the last sentence here, like the international Norwegian meta is growing strong. That is so true. Because we are discording, we are voice chatting, we are practicing every single week, and all of the guys on our team are got some connection to Norway. Not really, but a couple of the Brits does not have a connection to Norway. Other than that, they are playing a lot with us, and yeah, it's good that we actually can include everyone in this tournament, and we are really happy that we can have a international meta. So, where to go next? Oh, I definitely Steve in the chat. Glad I didn't make a fool of myself in this survey. Did you? I don't know. I don't think you did. I don't think anyone did. Okay. So, Hannes, where are we at?
So in general, I would say we're in a very good place. One minor thing, I cannot help for a whole meta is my observation that it seems to be very, very hard to post the schedule specific format. So I am with you that have to do that, but I know that it is so much easier. Apologize. But that is we're working in the background on building something automated, but see when it becomes finished during the still. Yeah, still a great shout out to Stefan for maintaining the spreadsheet. Still amazing work. It's the source of truth. And thanks for everyone. If you see that something wrong, super helpful. Mistakes. And again, for anyone who is still problems logging in into Pavilion and stuff like that, please let us know. It's a P for everything. We have already touched and did a lot of stuff like that for many players, so they can now access again. That we should always somehow as soon as possible.
Yeah.
And then, Zinnie, I think we had a stream for creating the groups and everything. And there we made the prediction that I don't remember. Did we say it? I think we probably said it's going to be the worst faction, right? So,
yeah. Of course.
We probably said it's going to be the worst faction, and let's check.
Yeah.
Oh, they are the worst faction.
Perfect.
Spot on.
Perfect.
We are geniuses.
Yes, we are. But like really, I didn't say it for banter. I was like really thinking that they would do really good. Like, I've seen the Lannister decks and they seem so versatile. Oh, it seems like your sound is actually breaking up because it sounds perfect to me. So I thought it was just Miha's ears that was breaking up. Okay, maybe you should just try the crappy microphone. Maybe that's better, and we can get some.
I don't know if it's better now. I changed the position. And
yes, it sounds good now for me at least.
Okay, but what is a stream without audio problems, right?
Yeah. Sounds better. Thanks, is it like? Okay, I can try to.
But maybe let's go back to the factions. I mean, the amazing thing is after 500 restrictions, Greyjoy is still on top, right? I mean, this is just so good, and I don't know. It's never easy to play against Greyjoy, is it?
No, it is never easy. This is just. But they also just suddenly got an amazing agenda in the Mummers, right? I don't know how many plays it in this tournament, but
I think there are 4 or 5 Greyjoy Mummers.
Okay,
so,
it's not more than that. Okay.
There's something to it. But also Greyjoy Fealty is just a very great staple deck.
Yeah.
To play.
I think we're still struggling a bit with the sound because I got like. Let me know if the sound is still like fucked up. To me, it sounds good, but I like the audio mixer like pops all over. Okay, it seems good now.
I can hear your beautiful voice now. So,
that's perfect. I think like it shows on the graphs there like 60% for Greyjoy, Lannister 45. It's Stark slightly above 50%, Targaryen dead 50, Tyrell dead 50. So by looking what agendas people grab for it, we are not happy with what we grabbed for Team Norway. We grabbed Wars. I think it's not the strongest, but still can include every single good Greyjoy card, so maybe not that bad. But yeah, I don't know about this, but yes. And can also be, is it top players playing Greyjoy decks?
I don't know. Maybe.
But also, I mean, second best faction is Stark. I mean, a lot of Stark Fealty, Stark
Yeah, yeah.
Crossing, Greyjoy Fealty. I think Greyjoy Mamas is kind of a new thing, but the themes behind it are just, the same as Greyjoy had before, just with draw for Mamas.
Yeah.
So these are just very, efficient deck types. They come up again and again. And for example, Night's Watch Aloof, which seemed oppressive for quite a while, I think, in the meta, is not doing so hot
Yeah.
this Sunday. But all things said, with the differences, also something cool to see is I think after now more 240 games, there are still not factions that are completely down and others that are dominating everything. So it's also, I think, a reflection of, in general, I think a healthy meta and all things, there can always be improvements, but in general, restrictive list and design of new cards is, I think, they're, done really well. So a lot of kudos to the teams who are doing that, because if it was not, you wouldn't see, I think, such an, all things considered, even spread number of wins across the factions.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and yeah, Lannister were like considered like the last 2 years, I guess, like the worst faction. So, like, for me at least, gradually coming back again with some new playstyles. So I guess, and yeah, Martell also got a really hit and didn't perform at all, and of course now are back again after just some slight alternation of the restricted list. So yeah, it's interesting to see how it's going to go on further as well, because there will surely be a new restricted list soon. I think many people are fearing that Mummers will be hit, or fearing wants it to be hit.
Some are fearing, some are hoping.
Yeah.
I think that it depends what deck you're playing.
Yeah. I'm usually not for restricting like good cards, good interactions, just because there are slightly above curve. But I actually got to admit that I haven't seen a deck that is as strong as the Martell Mummers deck in my Thrones gaming career.
But let's see. I actually have now from such Sally by agenda results, and of course, Mattel Mamas, 12 games and 66% win rate. This is, of course, way above curve.
Yep.
But it's also not unbeatable, and I think there are some very strong players playing that as well. But you have, in old-time goodie, Bara Kohor, 9 games and 66% win rates.
Yep.
It's also, sometimes Bara Kohor, we had also a game against Chile, and our Mattel Mamas lost against it.
Yes.
You feel just like you can't do anything. They're so fast. They have all the triggers and they played it so well, and then you just stand there stupefied, and they're at 15 while you just have nailed your Mamas twice, and that's that. Greyjoy Fealty at 66% with 15 games. Greyjoy Mamas at 73%. So this is one of the strongest decks who have played a lot of games. You have Night's Watch Steel, which has a better rate. 88%, but just 9 games. But for example, Night's Watch Aloof, really 30 games, so a lot of games and just 36% win rate. So Night's Watch Aloof is not doing well anymore. So the restricted list has hit it, I think, quite hard.
Yeah.
And
did you mention? Did you say Night Watch Steel?
Nightwatch Steel is doing really well.
88.89%, like eight, just 9 games though, and eight wins.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so
Tyrell Lion, might also have a comeback. 12 games, 83% win rate. So it used to be also dominating the meta. I think 1.5 years ago. It's still a very good deck. So Maybe my prediction will not turn out to be correct. That if you take out the best and the worst players, that Mamas is negative. So maybe it is performing above curve and needs some restrictions. But still, I think there are other strong alternatives that you can play. So I don't think that. I think it's also a sign that the meta is healthy and there are very many different types of decks that play really in different styles. Also, Mattel 3-1, so an attrition type of deck is at 60% win rate with 15 games. And the only thing where we don't have any really high performers like Targaryen doesn't have this one deck type that really sticks out. But this, I would say, it's also the faction that might have in the past had the least, prominent performance.
Yeah.
In a sense, maybe in the last year.
Yeah.
But apart from that, you can play really different kinds of styles of decks and still be successful, although there are, of course, differences, right?
Yeah, I know. I was watching David play against that cohort deck, and I was gonna face a deck that wasn't cohort, but Brotherhood that used all the roller attachments and stuff, Ashura High and all this stuff, and I was thinking, oh. So this is just a Mummers killer. I didn't know. I really didn't know. So I was just, I was looking forward to that match. I luckily, my opponent didn't draw any of the attachments, so it was a different game. But I just saw, I saw what you can do against a Mummers deck in that match. So yeah, of course not unbeatable, but for me, still seems so strong. I haven't lost a single game with that deck built from Lemming's deck. I still haven't lost a match with it. Like random.
Have you already played one?
I played in tournaments. I only played it twice. But in random games on the Iron Throne as well, just whenever I played it, it's just so strong.
Yeah, it's the draw is insane. So I had this live, my first live game against David was really amazing. And he needed to find one card in his deck to break my deck. And of course he did find it, and it's just highly likely that he does. And in other kinds of decks, you might also have the answer, but you're just less likely to draw it. So it has so many answers, and makes it very, very stable and can be strong against many things. I think.
Yeah, for me, it seems like it's impossible to reset the board against it because he always has the answer in his hand. Like the draw is so insane that it's there, and you can control the plot play so easily with that deck. So of course people are arguing that Greyjoy Mummers is even stronger, but for me it's the plot. It's the plot controlling element for me that's just makes it a bit over top. But I really hope that the agenda doesn't get reset back to hell. Like I really think that is a silly funny agenda that is super interesting to play and super annoying, of course, because you put cards under and everything is happens a lot of at the same time. But yeah, for me, one of the most fun agendas. So I really hope that if it's gonna be restricted, I hope it's gonna be a way that you restrict Greyjoy and Martell with Mummers, not every single Mummers deck. I know you play Mummers deck, a Targaryen Mummers deck. That is also a fun, pretty competitive deck, but it doesn't have that extra element of insanely competitiveness like the others have. So it's more like a normal deck, and I hope that we can see remembers more like that. But yeah, let's see. I think it's gonna be restricted, but I'm not sure if
All
I
right.
hope.
So I have a last controversial topic for you,
Perfect.
Magnus, especially because we are of different opinions on that. But maybe we can raise it here, and also then people can share their thoughts on this. And this
Okay.
is something we discussed before we started the tournament. On whether there should be and what kind of time limit we should have.
Yes.
So
We are
maybe
not
you can
agreeing
start
on
with
this.
you can start with your opinion. So we now in the end settled for 55 minutes. So why do you like that? So why what do you think is good about it?
My argument was and still is that it should be impossible to play longer in when we are playing online without shuffling, without anything extra going on. I know that we can have some issues with some delays, some lags and stuff. Of course, there can be circumstances that makes it harder. But yeah, that being it, I really think that it's enough. It's enough, and with a time limit, you know that it's not gonna be played over 2 or 3 hours. I know that I might be exaggerating a bit, but for most, I think it's enough. I think it's enough to play. Have set aside 1 hour once a week, and yeah, play the game. I know the argument for, since it's one match a week, that why have a time limit, because time limit should be only used for tournaments with real cards that it kind of moves forward the same day, so you don't need to stay up too late. But yeah, for me, it's just enough. And I know you will disagree, and I know you have arguments to say that no, there is not enough time, and you had games. But yeah, go ahead. Tear it apart.
So no, I mean I see your point. It's not that, especially that you can calculate so that you can rely on, oh, it's gonna take an hour,
Yeah.
which makes it easier, especially if you have to schedule across time zones, and so that you know, oh, okay, if we start at 9 or I don't know whatever time, I can do the game and then go to work afterwards, and I know that I don't have to just concede because I have to go to work or have to pick up the kids and stuff like that. So I think this is it is a very important point that I didn't think so much of before the tournament. And it might be a sufficient reason to keep it at that, even if it's just one game per week. But of course, yeah, counter arguments are it disadvantages certain decks that are slower, of course. So that's it. And then that's the question of is there time play? So are people deliberately playing slow because they know it's to their advantage to go over time and then get the win.
Yep.
And my impression from what I saw and omit is I don't think, at least not any relevant ones, I don't think there's deliberate time play. But the thing is that given two decks, there is a difference in how much you will care to play fast, whether it's your own interest or not. That's also the same for me, of course, that I will always play much faster if I know I have to play longer to win the game. So it can, I think, feel sometimes really, really hard to play, and then you feel like, oh my god, it's taking so long, and I'm not gonna get through the plots, and this is gonna be to my advantage. And I think that is a disadvantage that I would definitely see. And I think a psychological factor that makes it worse is that if you're not sitting opposite each other at a table, it feels also like, I don't know, thinking for a minute feels like an ages to you if you know you are in a hurry and you don't see anyone. So this is also, I think, a psychological thing that it feels horrible sometimes.
It's easier
So,
to get put in a analysis paralysis when sitting on your computer alone and just looking at the board state and sitting there and thinking
yeah.
it through. Yeah, I totally get your point. I got to just shoot in one thing here as well, because I actually was using a bit time in my last round before the time hit in my first game versus India, where I actually felt kind of bad because I used some time to figure out what to do, and the time limits was closing in. And then I decided to, not doing any challenge, and my opponent immediately just canceled challenge to get another round.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. Because of the time limit, because of me using just a few seconds too much time on my turn, just canceling, just dropping challenges, and he didn't get the next round. So I was super sorry for him. Like, that's too bad. But we saw by my cards that he wouldn't get the win anyways. But these things, like, I don't like winning that way, because I won on time in that match. So that kind of stings a bit. You don't want to win on time like that, at least. If it's a way dragged out match with 10 to 4, then yeah, be it. I don't mind winning that one, but a bit closer one where I've used a bit too much time in one challenge round is that's worse. But yeah.
Yeah. So one thing that Stephen just wrote is that he says the game was designed with a tournament-specific time limit in mind, which would usually be 55 minutes, I think.
Yep.
And then basically say, okay, if you remove that in competitive tournaments, that certain faction archetypes get advantages that weren't in mind at the time of designing them, which is, I think, a very interesting point.
Yeah, if that's true, I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder. So it's I think I find it hard to empirically test that. If then basically attrition decks would rule the meta. If you look at what and who wins in Champions of Westeros, which does not have a time limit, I don't think that there are. I haven't really, quantitatively looked at the data, but my impression is that it's not completely different. Maybe slightly more different. But it's of course something to consider, that you shift the balance a little. So it's still a fair point to make. And one thing also, so to things, I think if you play a lot and if you have a lot of experience, it's also easier to play faster.
Yep.
So one thing I was also wondering about, if this puts unnecessary pressure on players who are not so familiar, especially maybe with Iron Thrones and stuff like that, or are not playing as often, or are new players. And then they might feel bad for taking time to think about stuff, because they might not want to win by time in such a manner. So one thing I have been wondering is whether a 70 minutes time limit would be a compromise. So I would also state these 15 minutes actually make a real difference in my. I don't think I've ever played a game where I think that if it had gone 70 minutes, we still would have played over time. Unless it was a priori clear, like in Champions of Westeros, that there is no time limit, so everybody takes a lot of time. Is really, but for 70 minutes, it might make a crucial difference that these cases where they actually go over time are reduced to just 3-4% of the games. So that you take it down, it's still calculable that okay, it's 70 minutes. It doesn't have this nice within 1 hour slot. So we have these things that okay, and then let's book it the next game right after that. It's something maybe also for everybody listening out there to consider. Maybe you can post it or think through it through the tournament. If that would be a compromise to strike between the two positions. But yeah, so the practical issues of just playing 1 hour, I see that. But sometimes I think it then just feels it can feel unfair if you think, okay, if I had one more round, I would have clearly won. And so and of course the call now, the practical call for the rest of the tournament for everybody is, please, this can always be the situation that your deck takes longer to win. And if you're worried that your opponent, they might, they're really thinking about their game and not your game. So I think it's highly, highly unlikely that they think, okay, now I really wait slowly, because they also don't know how the game will develop. So ask them as soon as possible. I mean, maybe not in, after 2 minutes, but if you feel like, okay, there is something, of a delay in thinking and then playing, whether they could play a little bit faster. Typically, there will, and I've seen many games where the leading player has skipped through taxation, everything very fast to go to the next round at least. So I think there's a general willingness to not deliberately win on time.
Yes.
Although it might feel that way, and I've also been in a situation where I thought, oh no, why are they taking so long? So please ask them as early as possible, because there is no official rule on this. So unless somebody idles there for 20 minutes or so, there's also nothing that we can do as tourney organizers to do anything about this. Playing slowly is not illegal, and it's more about sportsmanship, of striking the balance, of giving people the time to think about it, but also of reminding them that, hey, maybe you can think about that, taking a bit faster, and often this can and will help. And I hope this will be a good solution for us for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. I think also Steven says something I really think is super interesting here, that I wanted to test out because of like not slow play, but maybe I'm thinking about slow play here. Chess clocks. Using chess clocks in tournaments, I think that it's really interesting, but I don't think our chess clock is perfectly optimized now, because I think you get 5 seconds per pass, I think, so you can like earn a bunch of seconds if you just click through stuff fast. I don't really like that.
No, you don't earn them. So the idea is you get basically 5 seconds that don't count, which I understand it.
Yeah.
But so my opinion on the chess clock, especially, I don't know if it's just a browser issue, but it moves around the picture so that I'm getting actively nauseous. But that could be something to consider. I would take out the 5 seconds. And take out this. I don't know if this is programming wise doable. I have no idea about the stuff. But or if it's just a browser issue. But if you can figure that out, taking these 5 seconds out, and then maybe fixing this, that the picture doesn't move back and forth all the time, then it would be something I would try. For example, we could try it in a friendly open, just to see how that works. Because of course that would solve things,
Yes, the thing that has sorry.
Yeah, then you would have maybe the best of both worlds. So it would be worth a shot.
Yeah, the thing that has put me off it is like I thought you gained seconds, but still counting down from 5 is way too much. So that it has put me down from actually testing it, and because I wanted like something like Blitz friendly open or something like that with pretty short time limit with chess clocks would be really interesting to see if we what decks we would see, and if it's doable to and just find the sweet spot on how much time we would need to finish a game. And so for the future, I think like 70 minutes, 55 minutes or chess clock is the most interesting stuff we have so far. For me, 55 minutes perfect sweet spot, but I I'm gonna be open to discuss this when we make the next one, because it's gonna be a next one. It's always a next one. But so like to wrap it up here, let's do some predictions here.
Yes, we're very good at that.
Yeah, we are probably the best at this, but we can predict that Catalonia and Czech Republic goes goes through to the top cut at least. Who follows from fire? We have Norway, India, Italy, and France that can follow.
So from what you said, I would say it's gonna be Italy and India. I think France will get the jitters and they will miss the cut, unfortunately.
Okay, I'm going for the
and sorry, Norway will also miss the cut. No offense.
Yes. I think the opposite. I think Norway will come back, and I think maybe Norway can savor it with a draw as well, because we are lagging a bit behind. So I'm hoping so. So maybe we can grab one. I'm gonna bet on
the
Norway.
Draw will be enough for Norway, just because
Norway and France follows from fire, and China will be followed. I'm just gonna go with Greece here.
Yeah,
that I think that you have seemed so strong. So I will go with Greece here, and let's see. Germany versus Spain, Austria versus China. Okay. I'm gonna go with maybe. I'm gonna go with Greece. Shit, can Poland still make it?
Yes, they could.
Greece.
So
Greece, Austria, Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say also. I'm gonna say Greece, and then I don't know what the standing between USA and Austria is in terms of games played, but I'll say Greece, United States, and Germany.
Yeah. Nice, interesting. Okay, who wins the tournament?
China. Sorry, it's boring. But...
yeah, I think so. I think so. Myself.
Okay, I'll take it back. No, let's not be boring. So China's not going to win the tournament. I say it's going to be Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. Yeah, that's a cool. Better. Stupa in the chat just got destroyed by him in the game.
Yes,
so high
Australia might be runners up.
Yeah, I think Catalonia will be up there for sure. Ivan chess clock will maybe work. Yeah, I would like that. So Australia, I think Australia has it. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah.
If all other teams get disqualified, straight to the final.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just sweep in by the players though. The top players. Okay, just one extra mention on Bing Oyang and his Lannister Banner of the Falcon. What is that? Have you seen that deck?
Yes, a little bit from the top of my mind. It's a shadowish deck, which also uses several of the King's Landing locations that enter play, like Alchemist Guildhall together with King's Landing to get more draw. And so you have several of the loyal Lannister characters that get the strength boost there.
Yes, but is it... Sorry, but for me, this agenda is bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you could look at it two ways, If somebody like Bing chose it, maybe you don't see it.
No,
you could see
certainly not.
If it's the only game that he lost is with this agenda, maybe that's actually saying that it's a bad deck or bad agenda. I don't know. I'm not yet decided on this.
I don't get this, because Banner of the Falcon and any deck that runs Cersei Lannisters is 7 cost. Why is it 2? But I'm not smart enough to understand this. So maybe yeah, I should just let this go.
Yeah.
Benjen
So what I
got
like
extremely
is
OP
also
at our game. Yeah.
Miha called this out. Is this try to use King's Landing from Baron the Builder really well with the extra draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how this actually works out in the games, but it's a nice idea.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool that it is getting played, and yeah, of course, this is one of the best players in the world. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a bunch of Team India's players up here in the top. Of course, they are winning a lot of matches and playing a lot of matches as well. Stupe, my last opponent, is going strong. Not a single loss, I think. Didn't you also have a clean record?
No. I lost against a very strong Bara Knights of the Hollow Hill.
Yeah.
That had too much. It was very resistant against attrition. And then, if you don't have much on the board, Traders of the Crown is an insanely good card. I mean, it's a good card anyway, but this basically, won the game, and they played really, really well. And yeah, but apart from that, I had some insane games, but not as good as those guys up here.
Oh, what? Are you called Feuerbart online? Yes, you are.
That's,
3 wins for you. I think I got the same. Let's see. Maybe I have 2. No. Yes, I have 3 wins as well. I haven't reported the last one. Yeah.
You haven't reported yet. What's up with that?
I shouldn't have said that. I should have just... No, I haven't played mine yet. No, so we're up at the same point. But again, kudos to Stupe, that is still going strong, undefeated on 4 matches. Is playing his 5th now. Yotam from Israel, also undefeated. Chilam from China. There's a bunch of undefeated players, but yeah, as Stupe is undefeated with 1 more than the others, he gets the shout out there. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to follow. And of course, he's playing the Valyrian Steel, so he's helping that agenda be the best agenda in the tournament so far. So yeah, kudos to him. So yeah, it's probably gonna be some Norwegians up here and in this spot. So sorry to Daria, maybe me. We don't know yet, but it's gonna be interesting to see. Then I probably need to win the rest of my games and play a couple of more than I'm allowed to. Not gonna happen.
All right.
Yeah, but I think we know who's winning the tournament. It's either Czech Republic or China. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. We'll try to maybe have a stream in the Top Cut as well.
Yes,
so check out. Just let it go. Maybe the first round and maybe
then for the semifinals.
Yeah, semifinals. I mean, then we might be back. I might not be, because I'm gonna play that semifinal, but you can interview me after that win, you know. No, it's gonna be good. Yeah, so...
Alright, so thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks everybody for playing, and thanks for all the support that we get in the tournament. Thanks for hosting the stream, Magnus.
Yeah, thanks for joining.
Thank you all, and have a good night or morning wherever you are.
Yeah, goodbye everybody. Bye bye.